Christmas is the greatest day in the whole wide world.
Christmas, Christmas time is here. Hey, it's Christmas. Merry, happy Kwanzaa and Christmas and everything and all those things and whatever you're celebrating around about this time. It's a joyful, joyful time. You feel the Christmas spirit. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is in the air everywhere.
Come from under that tree now. You know, the hangout got a story to tell you.
Yes. An amazing story. Amazing story. And I think it's a story that we all know and all are familiar with. As a matter of fact, as I was watching this story, it made me think of the story that I grew up with. And that story was created in 1966. And I'm like, godly. But definitely was one of my favorite Christmas cartoons. You know, back in the day, I always looked forward to it. And when they decided to do a live action movie, oh my God, how were they going to pull it off? How the characters were so exaggerated, you know, with their features and the things that were going on and the terminologies and how would they pull this off in live action? But let me tell you, this has become a cult classic throughout the years, for 24 years to be exact. And I think now I'm to the point where I would probably watch this one before the cartoon that I grew up, unless I need just, of course, a little quick bite, you know what I mean? Because the cartoon obviously is a lot less, you know, lengthy, but still, all in steel. What's that movie that we're talking about, X?
How the Grinch stole Christmas.
Christmas, Sheldon.
Christmas, Sheldon.
How did he steal it? Indeed. How the Grinch stole Christmas, man. Hey, listen. This again, like I said, cult classic. And I'll be honest with y'all. You know, give y'all just a little background. You know what I mean, to how we do things. It came down to two movies. All right. It came down to How the Grinch Stole Christmas and A Christmas Story. A Christmas Story.
Christmas.
Two classics. All right. And this was a hard one. This was hard, man, to decide on. But it looks like the Grinch stole Christmas, and he also stole the vote of which movie that we would be watching. So I tell you, man, I'm not mad about it, because either one of those would have been great. I mean, I love Ralphie. I love, you know, seeing, you know, how he wanted that Red Ryder, you know, rifle, and how everybody was, or his mom was worried he would shoot his eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And all this other stuff. But, you know, there are other Christmases coming. So who knows? Maybe 2025, we may do a Christmas Story. But this year is all about the Grinch, baby. And we love us some Grinch, don't we? So, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I tell you, I love it. Before we get started, though, had you seen this movie before, man? Like, was it part of your, you know?
Yeah, man. It was you know, growing up, you know, I already know how it is. You know, December 1st, you get your 25 days of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Christmas related is on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how could you not, you know, every other channel, it was either Christmas episode or your favorite TV show, Christmas movie. You know, they were really getting you in the holiday spirit. So, you know, this would always come up in rotation.
Yeah.
It feels like you got to watch it at least once every Christmas.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. And I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly how I feel. Like, during one of those days that you're talking about leading up to Christmas, I have to get this one in. You know, like I said, it's this one or a Christmas Story, but I need to get one of those in to continue to feel that Christmas spirit that you felt when you was younger, because they touch on these in the movie sometimes, how, you know, you get older, man, and you just, start to lose it a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't
lose the spirit.
Oh
man.
my
You lose the
goodness.
spirit.
Oh. And you got to deal with all these other months throughout the year that try to help you get out of the spirit because, you're going through things and it's tough, or, your money just is a little funny, and just everything to try to keep you from experiencing a joyful time. And I really appreciate this movie because of the purpose of the whole Grinch creation, which we're going to get into that, and it's a little deeper than you thought. But I appreciate it when I really just listened to the dialogue and what the creator was trying to say and how the director helped to bring that across. And I really appreciated that. So yeah, I mean, I hope that you guys can feel it too and understand, what they were trying to say. And maybe, just maybe, it might show, help you appreciate this classic just a little bit more. But of course, before we can always do that, X, please. I mean, for me, man, just as a Christmas gift for me, if you don't mind. I mean, it's something I've always wanted for Christmas. Always. So if you don't mind, my brother, can you please hit us off with a little bit of that beautiful bean footage?
All right. Let's check out this beautiful bean footage of How the Grinch Stole Christmas trailer.
Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment invite you to experience the magic of the classic story as it comes to life like you've never seen before. In a place where the Christmas spirit is everywhere.
Have the best Christmas ever!
Well, almost everywhere.
Counting down the Christmas clock. Oh, young Ishmael.
Blast this Christmas music. It's joyful and triumphant.
Jim Carrey is
The Grinch. I must stop this Christmas from coming.
from Universal Pictures
But what would I wear? Oh!
and Imagine Entertainment.
Forgot about the reindeer. Action! Brilliant!
Mr. Grinch, I myself am having some Yuletide doubts.
Don't care.
Maybe if you can reunite with the Who's and be a part of Christmas.
Maybe if you can reunite with the Who's and be a part of Christmas.
Grow up!
If you think you know the whole story,
What if it's all just a misunderstanding?
This could change my entire outlook on life.
Really?
No.
you don't know Grinch.
This is nuts! I'm going to throw up, and then I'm going to die!
Jim Carrey in a Ron Howard film. The Grinch.
Oh, somebody's fabulous!
Yeah, man.
What a trailer, huh? What a trailer. 24 years ago.
24 years. 24 years. And still holding. Yeah, and of course, as we go further into the year, some things are going to become a little dated. Some jokes may not, translate over as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Just depends. But, and depends on how many times you've seen it, of course. Of course, it's not going to be as funny, but there's some parts in there, man, they just still make me laugh or chuckle or whatever. So, that's how I consider a classic. I can watch it 24 years later, still enjoy it, and not look at it like, oh God, I got to get through this movie. So, yeah. As as I'm watching the trailer and everything, I realized too there's something they changed in there. The trailers are funny, man. They are so funny to me because something is always different from the trailer. I think every now and then we get a movie where it's like, oh no, this is exactly what happened in the movie. But even this one just now, the song that he was singing when he was in the bed and he was trying to sleep was a little different, just a little bit different from what was in the movie. So yeah. Yep. And I got the
they're gonna try to switch up little nuances here and there.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. And then of course some things get they don't make it off the cutting room floor and so forth and so on. But for the most part, they all made it into the movie. So this movie came out November 17, 2000. It's funny to say 2000 without saying 2000 and something, but November 17, 2000. All right. We were almost a full year of coming off of Y2K and that whole scare and whatnot. So everybody was still kind of just calming down from it and everything. But it was directed by Ron Howard and it was adapted from the book that Mr. Dr. Seuss wrote. I don't know if that's the right way to say Mr. Doctor. But definitely Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This was a book. It was turned into a cartoon. And the rest is history. They made this movie with a budget of $123 million. X. Yeah, man.
23 million.
Yeah. Which we know 24 years ago was a lot more than what it is now. So yeah, this was big. This is big. But they definitely made the money back and more with a total of $345.1 million worldwide.
Wow.
So they made that guap.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And had extras.
And please believe, I mean, now already he was doing his thing. I mean, because, he had Liar Liar by that time and The Mask, right? But this definitely put Jim Carrey up there. I mean, it was Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean, he I'm gonna say carried the movie, but he was the main star. He was the reason why. I mean, he's the Grinch. And I will just go ahead and say coming into it that my first thought was, how is he going to pull it off? I mean, because there's certain things that the animated film does that a human being just probably wouldn't be capable of doing with their face. However, when you get someone as animated as Jim Carrey, it was just genius. It was genius. Because this is somebody who already was able to stretch his face in all kind of ways that, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I still remember him from, Living Color and him doing some things there. He did Jack Nicholson's Joker from the first Batman, and he did The Smile. And right there, that was it. That proved right there that he could do this movie because, as we know from the cartoon, there's a certain smile, the way that the Grinch smiles with the corner of his mouth. I mean, just curling all the way up. And Jim was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't waste any time. That's what I liked about this one is that they didn't waste any time. Like, soon as they showed him, they'd let you know, like, oh no, this is about to be real because he can do the smile. And I just don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure with the way they did the makeup, they was able probably to make the smile come up a little bit more, but he already could stretch his face in a way to do that crazy, sinister kind of grin that the Grinch does in the cartoon. So,
takes real talent, man. It takes some dedication, man. And it does help to have a leg, not a leg up, but your face is already kind of stretchy. So
right.
It helps.
It helps for sure. So yeah, man, listen, the synopsis is, in this live action adaptation of the beloved children's tale by Dr. Seuss, the reclusive Green Grinch, played by Jim Carrey, decides to ruin Christmas for the cheery citizens of Whoville. Reluctantly, joined by his hapless dog, Max. The Grinch comes down from his mountaintop home and sneaks into town to swipe every holiday related from the Who's. However, the bitter Grump finds a hitch in his plans when he encounters the endearing Cindy Lou Who, played by Taylor Momsen. I would say that's pretty accurate, man. You know?
Yeah. But this is also back in the times where, you know, they actually give you a synopsis and it'd be actually correct instead of, you know, nowadays where they just, you know, oh, hey, this is what's going on. That's it.
You know, when you just said that, just, you know, what creeped in my mind, do you think that's like Chat GBT? You know what I mean? Like they just say here, Chat GBT.
Hey, honestly, it could be.
That's what I was thinking, bro. Because I'm like, anybody that actually watched that movie, there's no way they would say some of the stuff that they were saying. But if they gave it to Chat GBT, they may just say, "Oh, okay, it's got this person, it got this." Okay, well, here's what we're gonna say. You know what I mean?
But see, and then that's the thing too, because like you don't necessarily, you could give them like the smallest description of what it is, and then that's what they come up with. They don't need a big explanation to just come up with a caption for you. So that, you're right. That could actually be what it is. Okay, hey, this movie is this, and this person does this.
Yeah.
Write me a caption about it.
Write me a caption about it. That make, because as soon as you said, like, you know, back in the day when the synopsis is absolutely matched the movie, that's like, wow, okay, so what's different from now to now? Chat GBT is different. So yeah, that's why I don't use it, man. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And for anybody that does, listen, I'm not mad at you. I know some people are just too busy. They ain't got time to think, you know, but kind of takes the heart out of things sometimes for me. And yeah. So
agreed. Yeah, I agree.
Quite interesting. So okay, let's dive right into it, man. As it's said, and for all of us who have seen it, the Grinch, right? The Grinch hates, and I mean hates, Christmas.
Absolutely loathes.
Absolutely loathes. Cannot stand it. And here's the thing about it. It's funny because there are some people who just, they're like that. They are true to life Grinches. Okay. They are Grinches, no doubt. Yeah, I feel like I know some people too. That's truly a Grinch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, everyone listening to this podcast right now in this moment, Christmas Day.
Yep.
We all know some Grinches. we all know somebody.
Some Grinches, some Scrooges, right? It's funny how they got these names for people.
Yeah,
like,
if we aren't already one ourselves.
I know, right? True, very true. You're right. Right. Look at. I tell you what. Stop what you're doing right now. Just pause this. Go and look in the mirror and ask yourself, "Am I a Grinch? Am I truly a Grinch this year?" And if you are, I'm gonna need for you to do something about that. All right. You know what I mean? First, I'm gonna need you to watch this movie and see, you know, how that turns out for him. Yeah, you know, I need you to spread a little Christmas cheer, man. It's okay. So, diving right in. Okay. We are brought into Whoville. Okay. And Whoville is a different type of place, man. I mean, Whoville is different.
Different is a strong word, you know, unique. Interesting. Are two other words that come to mind. So yeah.
But you know, it's funny because it also seems like a nice place to live for some reason too. You know what I mean? Like they kind of got their own stuff going on. Now there are things that happen in Whoville that definitely mimic our real world. But in Whoville, things are definitely exaggerated. But there's some things that I saw in this movie, man, and I was like, oh, that's a bit adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know. But it's funny how they'll put a couple little, you know, adult things in these movies, right? Wouldn't necessarily say it's a kid's movie. However, it's definitely, you know, aimed.
They told that line. They told a line.
Don't they though, bro?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
They see the line and they walk across it in a straight line. Just they're not on one side or the other side. They're just directly in the middle.
And they do a good job of staying in the middle, because there's a couple times if they 1 inch over, like, oh, this is a little too much for kids, you know. But I see how they do it. They take the things that kids just absolutely should not know. Like what is that? You know. But yeah, so a few things going on. You know, I mean, you obviously have crime if they have a police officer, right? But you got one police officer apparently. You got a mayor. You know, you do have certain things set up, right? That mimics the real world. But again, they are exaggerated, or I mean, not as serious as ours. But we jump right into it, man. We find out, hey, who Cindy Lou is, who her dad is, and the fact that Cindy Lou is kind of, not necessarily a Grinch, but she's not feeling Christmas the way that everybody is. She's you know what, man, she's a little reminiscent of my boy in Red One. Right, she's there with everybody doing Christmas, and she's gonna go through the motions. However, she's not really believing in Christmas as much, right? And I'll say that Chris Evans was the Grinch in that movie, right? But they had some similarities, and one, decided. I mean, one actually ended up helping the other, and the other helped that one, and they actually ended up helping each other. So I see some similarities in Red One that I see in the Grinch, as a matter of fact. So I don't know if that they took that from that, but that was, I can definitely see it. So, but
go check out that Red One review, man. Episode 14, now live on youtube.com/The Hangout Media.
Y'all heard him. And he ain't lying. He ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying. So, we find out that she's a little. I mean, Dad. I mean, isn't this a little extra? You know what I'm saying? And even though she used a way bigger word, right?
Yep.
Which Timmy probably knows the word, but yeah. So anyway, she's just kind of like not feeling it all that much, you know what I mean? And everybody's all over the place with it. But the cool thing about it is that the Grinch, he's not feeling as well, but he's definitely on his Grinchness, and he's come down from his mountain, but of course, I mean, we know that he was kind of minding his business at first, and then kids, little bad kids, right? Always got to do some stuff they ain't got no business doing, and up there antagonizing the Grinch, and he's like, okay, well let me come down there and antagonize y'all a little bit, but that's how we end up with him down into Whoville from his mountain crumpet, was it Grumpet, Mount Grumpet or something, whatever it's called, wherever they dump all the trash at. But he's coming down, and now he's in Whoville, and he's doing what Grinches do, trying to ruin Christmas a little bit for everybody, mixing up the the mail order of the presents and all that stuff there. But that's definitely where him and Cindy Lou have their first of many encounters, which I do love, of course, because just as you hear in the trailer, when she first sees him, it's like, you're the and Jim Carrey doing what he does best, right? Trying to scare her, and you know what I'm saying, all that stuff here, but intimidate. There you go. Thank you, dog. Try to intimidate her, but doesn't work on Cindy Lou. I mean, Cindy Lou ain't no punk. Now, let's just make sure we say that Cindy Lou is not like a regular little girl. She is no punk at all. She does not scare easy at all. She's almost a little adult-like, actually. She's a little more adult than some of the adults sometimes, Very smart little girl. But right there, we get our first encounter of, you know what I mean? And we just get a chance to really see what he's on. Now, here's what I'll say for Jim Carrey fans. You definitely get Jim Carrey in all his glory in this movie. And for some people, I know
peak performance, man. I'd say,
I've seen The Masked Doll, but not seen it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it kind of in the background.
You know of it. You know that it exists. You just never paid attention to the story.
Never really, dog, because I have my moments that with Jim Carrey. Sometimes he can be over the top. You know what I'm saying? Way over the top. In not a good way for me, like too silly. And I know there's some people who like, I don't like just too silly. I like funny, but I don't like too silly. So I get it. I can understand how they have to have him in doses, right? Mm-hmm. But in this one here, it was like Ron Howard was like, look, I need you to bring it all out. Just whatever you want to do, you just do it. And I'll tell you when it's too much. And it doesn't seem like he ever told him it's too much. You know what I mean? Like he was all over the place with Jim Carrey isms, you know, with the fabulous and all the other stuff he was doing. You know, I'm like, yeah, they was definitely let him do his thing in this one. Now, a good tidbit that we have, during the initial casting, Eddie Murphy and Jack Nicholson were the first names to come up, according to Vulture and Screen Crush. While it's unclear how far in the casting process these two ended up, it's understandable that they were considered because both could have put their over-top performances into the role. Now, X, what do you think about that? What do you think about Eddie Murphy or Jack Nicholson as the Grinch?
Now, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Interesting, cause like, you know, obviously in a multiverse somewhere that's the actual Grinch movie that they got to see, you know, and in our multiverse, this is the one that we got to see.
Okay.
So it's different, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But I don't know. Would it have been the same? Or do you, because part of me feels like I can't see nobody other than Jim Carrey.
Thank you, bro.
Honestly, I think the casting for this is perfect. You know, and I guess because I've had time to sit with it longer, you know, I never really saw it outside of Jim Carrey.
Right. And I'm glad to hear you say that, bro. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I couldn't see anybody else in it. You know what I mean? Once somebody owns a role, that's just their role. You know what I mean? Like that's their role. And I'm trying to imagine like Shrek. I'm looking down, Shrek. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to imagine that Eddie Murphy as Donkey, you know, trying to do, you know, the Grinch. You know what I'm saying? And in the morning, I'm making waffles. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to imagine that Grinch.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, man, I'm not saying it wouldn't have been good.
The same.
Yeah, but it just wouldn't have been the same. They needed over the top for this because, as I was saying about the animated version of this, it's over the top. You know what I mean? The animation, what they do in that movie, in that little animated film, is over the top. And they need an over the top guy. And there's nobody more over the top than Jim Carrey. I'm sorry. Now when it comes to comedy, nobody more over the top. And good with it too. I'm not talking about just being silly and it's just stupid. He can be funny with his stuff too, man. You know what I mean? And then he can switch it and kind of play it a little more straighter, you know. So he's definitely a triple threat for me. I appreciate you saying it because I absolutely agree. Nobody else I could see. And I'm glad that it happened the way that it did. He was definitely made for it. So hats off to you, Mr. Carrey.
Yeah, you did your thing, big dog.
For sure.
Definitely did the big one.
He did, man. And you know, if you guys disagree with us, please, or agree, you please put it in the comments. I'm curious to know what y'all feel about that. Was there anybody else that you could have imagined in this role that would have crushed it? Not just done a good job, but we talking about crushed it, because he absolutely crushed it.
Mm-hmm. And sound down in the comments, man. Let's just talk about it. Let's have a discourse about it, man.
No doubt. So, you know, we've met Sidney Lou, we met the Grinch, and we basically know, we all know the story, right? You know, he's there to help destroy Christmas. She kind of wants to, I think she wants to kind of figure everything out, you know, especially when it comes down to the Grinch. You're like, what made him that way? You know what I mean? And at this moment, I'm thinking maybe she wants to find out what made him this way to keep her from becoming this way, because she's obviously feeling some kind of way about Christmas. And she wants to know, well, I know how I feel. What made him become such a Grinch, and why no one wants to, you know, invite him to things? She has a super big heart, man. One of the biggest hearts in Whoville, as a matter of fact, because she's absolutely the only one who is concerned with trying to get the Grinch, you know, to be a part of the celebration. Nobody else.
Yeah. And saw the humane side of him. Like, hey, you know, y'all ever wonder how y'all treat this man, how he feels? You know, why am I the only one that has paid attention to how he ever felt about anything? Deep.
That is deep.
And for her to be so young at her young age, just speaks a lot.
It does. It speaks to her parenting, you know what I'm saying? Because however they must have been that way to help raise her that way. But definitely, like you said, man, it speaks a lot to her character. And when you are younger, your heart is way more pure. You haven't had time for, the world,
corruption of the world,
right? To I don't say corrupt you, but taint that pure heart of yours. You know what I mean? You haven't gone through enough disappointment and hurt and let down to start feeling resentment toward things and people. Your heart is of the purest, right? And I feel like it's one of the times we're, the most closest to God, because I mean, we're just a lot more pure. And so, to watch that definitely felt great, man. There was nothing that could keep her from going to talk to the Grinch, to try to find out, hey, what's wrong. It was nothing he could do, nothing no one can say to stop her from her mission of getting the Grinch to come and join them. And it's a wonderful feeling watching that, man, to watch, oh, wow, look at the purity in some people who just care. And just like we said, there's some Grinches out there. There are absolutely some people out here that no matter what, they still care and they still try to help people, no matter what they've been through. People have stolen from them and they still want to help people, right?
Yep.
So
just goes to show the purity still left in people, or as they say, the good in humanity.
Yes. And it's there. It's there. I mean, no matter what we see out there, it's still there. That's not what the media and, other people want you to see. However, it is still there. Doesn't get highlighted as much as the drama and the negativity and whatever, but the goodness is still and will always be there. And I think this movie helps to highlight that as well. So now she's basically on her mission, and so is the Grinch. The Grinch's mission basically is whatever he can do to interrupt Christmas. She's on a mission to get him to be a part of Christmas, and she's doing her thing, man. I mean, she's interviewing people and trying to find out, where did he come from, and this creates a funny little montage of little events. You know what I mean? When you get the recounts of the people that raised him and the people that went to school with him, like the mayor and Martha May, who basically was in love with the Grinch, right? Even though she was a little bit in denial, answering questions she wasn't even asked. Did I ever have a crush on the Grinch? No. It's like, I didn't ask you that. It's like, oh, my bad. But but yeah, we find out, man. But that's one of the part, man. When that one little flashback to his foster parents that raised him, right? And when I think about it now, I'm like, were they together? It's like maybe they were together. They didn't want to say it, but I think they were together personally. But
maybe the prequel that comes out in 2028.
The wicked Grinch. But yeah, but there's a part in there, bro, that you have to be an adult and you have to absolutely know about that. You know what I'm saying? To have heard about it or anything to know. But there is a part in there where, when he's being, I guess, not storked to their house, but he's in the little baby carrier and he's floating right on the blue balloon or something, parachute or whatever. And they showed the adults in there, what I'm saying? They having a good old time, right? People riding on people back, what I'm saying? Playing giddy up and whatnot. And they all throw them keys in a bowl. I was like, oh, they are tripping, yo. Like, okay. I never really paid attention to that the first time, but they're doing a little bit of swapping. I'll just say that. They're doing a little bit of swapping going on. Anybody don't know what I'm talking about, you have to look that up. But I'm like, okay, now that's very adult. That's too adult.
Hey, man. Sometimes, it's the subtlety. You wouldn't know if you don't know.
You don't know if you don't know. But I'll say, if you know, you know. But on this one, I was like, wow, okay. That was quick and right in there. Like, they didn't dwell on it too much, but they were like, y'all know what we talking about right here. So I'm like, they was off the chain. So you sure this is the household you need to be sending them to? But apparently they must have, stopped their, debauchery and decided to raise the Grinch the right way as much as they could. Obviously the Grinch, even from a kid, he kicked the little other baby basket off to a whole nother place, you know what I'm saying? And he was quite happy about that. So he's been a Grinch. I mean, he's been a bad little kid, you know what I'm saying, or whatever he was. Is he a who or is he a what? That's the question, X. Can you tell me that? Is he a who or is he a what?
Price, my brother, I think we'll be here all day trying to figure that out. Who or what?
He looked kind of like a who, but he was green, you know, and whatnot. So maybe it was a what, but yeah, man. So ever since he was a kid, man, he's been a little bit of a troublemaker, you know what I'm saying? But maybe just a little misunderstood. However, you know, he obviously had a crush on Martha May as well, and he felt something, right? And he actually tried to, you know, make a little Christmas gift and everything. But just like it happens when you're a kid, right? Other kids. Now, we're talking about how pure kids can be, but kids can also be pretty mean too at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can be pretty mean at times. And it seems like he went through a little bit of bullying. So they did touch on quite a few things that happened, you know, with people. But the Grinch went through a little bit of bullying, and that helped to make him into who he was, which, again, I thought that was smart to put that in there, because just like with Wicked, it's the same thing. Like, who just comes out bad and mad and evil, right? A lot of times,
Let's talk about it.
People are provoked. You know what I mean? You create these monsters. I do believe that you create active shooters. You know what I'm saying? You know, just because of the way you're treating people, you don't think anything of it because you just want to laugh at something and tease somebody about it, right? It's not that serious. But to those people, it's deadly serious. So let's be mindful of how we treat people on a daily, not just during Christmas holidays or holidays period, but let's be mindful of how we treat people, because we just never know what they're going through on the inside. And that's
Thank
what,
you.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Thank you, brother. That needs to be said more often, man. Let's lead with love, you know,
No doubt.
if anything, you know.
Love and understanding. And so that's what we watched. We was able to watch the Grinch actually be created into the adult Grinch that he is, because he was living in a regular home and so forth and so on. It was the teasing and the way that he was ridiculed that drove him to live alone on the mountaintop. So fast forward back to present times. You know, Cindy is like, hey, listen, forget all of that. Let's get the Grinch down here. So when it's time to nominate for the Cheermeister, you know, she nominates the Grinch, and everybody, you can hear gasp just going across the whole crowd. You know,
Oh my goodness.
not the Grinch. Yeah, because of course you got this old, you know, oh my God, this mayor dog, he is just, he think he that dude, don't he? He is just that dude, man. And then of course he got his little flunky following behind him, telling him everything he wants to hear.
Draws, brother.
Yeah, he's smelling his draw. For real, bro.
That brother was smelling his draws, brother. He couldn't tell him a thing.
Nothing. You know, had his curls, you know what I'm saying? Because he sleeps with his hair rollers, you know what I'm saying, at night. So he got his hair perfectly curled up and everything, right? Like, this dude, yeah, is extra. Yeah, he's funny. But he played well by Jeffrey Tambor, though. I will say, because I've always liked him, period. But played him very well. Jeffrey Tambor played Mayor Augustus.
Augustus?
Yeah, Augustus. I know, right? Like from what is it? Willy Wonka. Augustus.
Yep.
In the chocolate. Played very well. But while we on that, of course, we know that Jim Carrey played the Grinch. Taylor Momsen plays Cindy Lou Who. Christine Baranski. Martha May Who. Molly Shannon. Betty Lou Who. Bill Irwin. Lou Who.
Lou.
Almost like Jim gonna say, like, Lou Who's her. And Josh Ryan. Yeah. And Josh Ryan Evans playing Little Grinch, you know what I mean? Which I'm telling you, if I'm looking at this picture right now, this boy still looks like that Little Grinch too, like without the green makeup.
I swear, man.
Is it the year just for these green characters right now though? Because we got the Grinch, we got the Elphaba, and it's just about that green, baby.
Something about the green characters, man. It's just they're troubled, very troubled.
Very troubled. Yeah, man, very troubled. But also misunderstood. So
Very misunderstood.
So yeah, man, she basically nominates him, and he's Jeffrey Tambor. He's like, no, what? No, just nah. Matter of fact, to the point, they got a Who book of rules, and to the point where she apparently has read this book through and through, front and back, to and fro. She knows it like the back of her hand. He's trying to make up stuff like, well, the book says that this, and she's like, where does it say that? They don't say that in here. He's like, good little girl, please stop. But
she'll make a great attorney someday.
Oh my God, bro. Or a president. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, too soon. But yeah, so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, for all this feeling that. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's Christmas. Remember, it's Christmas. No, but so focus, man. Focus. All right. So yeah, man. So Cindy Lou Who is on her Cindy Lou-ness, and she's up at the mountaintop. She's like, hey, bro, I got you in, dog. I got you in, yo. You will not believe it. You will be our Christmas cheermeister for this year, right? And then he goes into his more Jim Carreyism, dog. Oh my God, bro. He came in there trying to rip the shirt up and barking at her, all that stuff he doing, man. I'm like, this dude here, man, is just super funny. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this one part. When I'm talking about just things that still make me laugh, dog, when he's like trying to go back into his little cave and he's like, I don't need anybody. I'm perfectly fine here by myself and such. And he starts talking to the echo and, you know what I'm saying? Hello, and all that stuff here and whispering and he's like, I'm an idiot. And the thing comes back, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still one of the funniest parts of me, dog. And then he's like, you know what I'm going to do, I'm just going to whisper. And by the time I do my voice and throw it back, and then I'm going to hear it. And then you hear, you're an idiot. It's like that right there, dog. It's just my part to this day. It still makes me laugh to this day. So that's why I'm like, there's certain parts that just will not ever get old to me. And that's definitely one of them. So
that's beautiful, man. I'm glad. See, it's good when films make you feel,
Yep.
It's always good to feel something,
Yes, dog. And so, he's on his Jim Carreyism, but of course, I mean, he's also the Grinch. And I mean, once she mentions that award, because he's not trying to hear none of that, like, nope, not going, nope, can't do it, nope. But as soon as she mentions an award, he's like, oh, an award, you say? Yeah, he's all with it, right? But and then of course we go through another little montage of him changing into different outfits and trying to talk himself out of going. But of course, Max the dog, which you gotta love Max, man. Max is that dude. Max was not a bad dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a bad owner, but he was not a bad dog.
Furthest thing from a bad dog. Furthest thing,
bro. And it's Max that actually is part of the hero of the story, because Max makes him do certain things. You know what I'm saying? He made him save Cindy Lou when she was stuck in the little conveyor belt, thing for the packages.
Mm-hmm.
He made him go to the event. You know what I'm saying? Like, Max actually is that hero, man. He's like the rat in Endgame. You know what I'm saying?
He's basically the underlying hero.
Absolutely. Max is that dude. Shout out to Max, yo. So yeah, man, and your boy gets to go to the celebration and so forth and so on. And he just trips me out when he finally gets in there and everybody, oh my God, the Grinch, he's playing up to it, you know what I mean? Being the Grinch.
Oh my God, the Grinch.
Right. And he's definitely playing up to being it, because everybody's scared of him and whatnot. Like, they're acting the way he thought Cindy Lou should act. Like, she's the only one, like, I ain't scared of you, bro. You know what I mean? So but he just trips me out, man. He comes in like, so they say that there's an award for me. And he's like, yeah. And I think the little girl also mentioned a check. It's like, no, I didn't. There's no check, But he wrote that for a minute trying to get that bread. But
hey, man, listen, it don't hurt to try.
Hey, closed mouth don't get fed, right?
Try. Closed mouths never gotten fed.
Yeah. So he tried. He shot his shot. He got shot down, but he shot it anyway. So, but yeah, man. So, it's funny because I do love that part too, man. Watching him, he's trying to not have a good time, dog. He is trying his best. However, how can you not have a good time when everybody is just hoisting you up in the air on a chairmeister chair, swinging you back and forth everywhere? Oh my God, I'm rhyming. Oh my God, I am rhyming. Oh my God, no.
To the Dr. Seuss effect.
I'm rhyming. Hey man, what can I say? Dr. Seuss will do it to you, baby. He'll do it to you. So anyway, man, but that part, dog, when he's like, they feeding him all the food and everything, and the next thing they show him, he's leaning on the chair holding his stomach, like, golly. I'm just like, this is just too funny.
I think I'm putting on a few pounds.
For real, dog. But of course, trauma ensues when he's given his Chairmeister gift, which is the gift of a Christmas shave. And as we know from back in the day, that was what happened with him. They tease him about being, 8 years old with a beard, and you know what I mean? And, he tries to shave, and of course, he nicks it as you will do when you're a kid. He nicks his face all up, right? But this right here triggers. This is definitely trauma for him, because this triggers, dog. And he goes on a rampage, man. Tearing up stuff, burning down the trees, you know what I'm saying? All these things. And that's this moment, which I will say is different from the cartoon. They definitely expanded on that right there, because in the cartoon, it was just basically he was a Grinch. You didn't get a lot of backstory. He just hated Christmas, and he was going to steal Christmas. That was it. With this one here, he was antagonized. He was definitely antagonized. Definitely by the mayor.
It helped you understand and explain, again, kind of like that small detail you mentioned earlier about when he was a kid. Just helping us understand that, villains aren't created, they're made.
Yep. Yes, they are. So be mindful the next time that you may create or make a villain. Yeah, man. And so, you feel bad for him. Like, if you feel anything, you should feel bad for him right there, because that was unnecessary. All of that
Absolutely
was just totally unnecessary. Yes, he looks different.
Absolutely.
Yes, he speaks differently. All those things, but that's the world. Like, that's how we live, and that's how we do. We, anytime we see people that we don't understand, we tend to tease or ridicule or just treat them mean. Even especially like we don't understand what they're saying, right? Because us as Americans, of course, we're perfect, and everything that we do is just on point, right? We're just better than everybody. Yeah, I said it. But there are other people who look at us like, y'all are not better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You're not. You're just human beings. So that's when I'm looking at this movie, I'm seeing so much stuff that's in here. And there's a part too, man, because he actually goes off into this rant, right? And he has this monologue, and he's talking about what Christmas really means. You know what I mean? He's mentioning up the fact that all these gifts that you guys get, that you buy, you go to the stores, these gifts end up with me, because you throw them away into your trash, right? You throw them away into your trash, and that's where they end up. So those gifts must not really mean too much. Now, X, there's a part there that really gets into consumerism. Do you want to enlighten them?
It says the Grinch was created to fight holiday consumerism and to oppose holiday consumerism,
which is deep if you think about it. Because there's a part when he's talking about, he's saying all this stuff here, and you think about the consumerism, that's what we created, or that's what we turned Christmas into.
Yeah, that is deep, actually. Oh, wow.
And that's what I was saying, bro. I had different eyes on when I watched this movie.
Oh, you gotta sit back and think about that one, though.
It's true.
And that's exactly what it, yeah.
Because his whole thing was, if I just take these gifts that they put so much stock into, that they love so much,
the consumerism of it,
yeah, then that should stop Christmas, because that's what they have made Christmas into now, that it's just about the best gift I can give you, the most expensive gift that I can give you. That's
that part. Yes, absolutely. Oh, wow.
Forget the time that we share together. Forget the fact that we're here celebrating, whether you're celebrating just, being with your family, whether you're celebrating the birth of Christ, whatever you're celebrating, that is overshadowed with, hey, I got you this electric 3001 such and such, you know what I'm saying? Or this whatever, you know. That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're waiting for. That's what you're waiting to go up under that tree to get. You're not happy that, oh my God, I made it through the end of the year, or I'm here with my family and are we able to share this who ham together? You know what I'm saying? You know, this who beast, who roast beefs. You know what I'm saying? No, you know, you're just waiting to see what did mama and daddy get me? You know, what did somebody get me? Me. Mine. That's what Christmas has become for a lot of people. And so for them to say the Grinch was created way back in 1966. Now just imagine how bad we are now. This was 1966, bro.
1966, dog.
So that's a long time ago for that someone to have that much foresight to say it's going to get worse. So you have to imagine that he was saying it like, let me try to combat this now because I can see where this is going.
And I know where this could be headed. Ooh. Man, brother, this is getting deeper and deeper.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. So you could look at it just like, oh my God, here's Jim Carrey acting silly and, you know, you know what I'm saying? You go for the music, whatever. But if you peeled this back for a second, you actually will see how they was trying to combat the consumerism. He stole all the gifts, everything that people praise and worship so much, this material crap. That's what he was trying to take. But as we find out, right? We also find out that some people don't look at it that way. Definitely not Cindy Lou. It was not about the gifts for Cindy Lou. It was about the moments that you spend with people that you're supposed to care about, you know? And that's what she was about. She was the remedy to that. From the beginning of the movie, she was the remedy to that. He was basically saying, this is how you should be. Like, you see this pure-hearted little girl? That's how we should all be toward each other at all times.
And I feel like I can resonate with that on a personal level, man.
Really? Enlighten me, brother.
Yeah, man. I just feel like, you know, it shouldn't be emphasis on what the expensive gifts, the gift giving of it all. I really thought the embodiment of that Christmas spirit was the fellowship, just being around your loved ones.
Right.
I thought that carried more weight than whatever I could get that person.
Yes.
You know, so hey, maybe that might have been the cause of my Grinchness at times. Who knows? That's why hey, Price, ain't that why you said earlier? Take a step back, pause the episode, go look in the mirror, see if you look a little Grinchish.
Yeah, straight up. And this movie would help you actually look at it if you peeling it back and you looking at it for what it really is. I'm telling you, man, for the first time in my life, I really dug into it to see what were they trying to say. Was it just this whole, silliness of Jim Carrey being the Grinch and how far he, go with the character and, how much they can make it look like the cartoon or were they really trying to say something? And when you listen to that monologue that he gives, you definitely hear the consumerism in it right there. And I'm like, wow. But as we know, and we know from the story, we're not telling you anything you haven't seen before. We're not spoiling anything. So we already know how this goes. Basically, he does exactly what the movie says. I mean, the title says he stole Christmas. He went through the whole thing that we saw in the cartoons. He, creeped and crawled through everything, stole everything you could possibly imagine. Every light bulb, okay, on every tree in every house. He took it all. He even took the things that kids were dreaming about. Okay, they couldn't even dream about a gift.
Can't even think about it no more, big dog. Can't even think about it.
Give me that too, shawty. I'm taking that one too. So, I mean, he definitely stole the whole Christmas and, took everything back to the mountaintop, you know what I'm saying? Just like in the cartoon. But as we know, man, he's up there and he's feeling like I won. Max, I think that Christmas will not go well this year. Now that's my best Grinch
Good job, dog.
Grinch
job.
imitations I could do.
Good job. Good
Appreciate
job, dog. For real.
But as he's sitting there with Max, and he realizes, what is that noise I hear, Max? They're still singing. They're still singing, bro. And right there, I feel like that is the moment that everybody should be like, oh, okay. So it does not matter about the gifts and you know what I mean? And all this other stuff. It does not matter. What matters is that I woke up and my family is still right here with me. We're still sheltered. You know what I mean? We still have life.
That's it.
And we still have each other. And
just to be appreciative of the little things, man.
Yes. Of the little things, bro. Of the little things. You want to know how blessed you are? Take your butt to one of these third world countries and see how they live. And if you do that, oh my God, you will come back really, really appreciating what you have over here in America and as an American themselves. And that's why they feel like we're so spoiled, because we just have everything. That's why we throw away so much food every day. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Yeah. So it was right there, bro. And I'm like, yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about right there, man. Love each other. Spend that time with each other. Appreciate each other. Don't worry about, well, you didn't give me the gift I wanted this year and such and all that stuff here. Okay, come on. So, and we know what happens to the Grinch right then with his heart. Such a wonderful part, man. It should definitely make everybody smile. I want my heart to grow 3 times its normal size. You know what I'm saying? Well, not really. That probably wouldn't fare well for me realistically. However, but figuratively, not literally.
Yeah, there we go.
But figuratively, yes, I would love for that to happen, for me to care even more, because the world tries to make you not care, but I want to care even more. And so I'm hoping that this movie does for you guys what it does for me when I'm looking at the consumerism part about it. And like, wow, you're right. It does not matter how big of a gift I give somebody or how expensive I gift, the gift is. It's the thought. It's the fact that I thought about this person here. I wanted to give you something. And even if that something is not physical, I want to be with you on this day.
That's it. And to me, that's all it's ever been about. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like, that hits a little bit home, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up,
man.
I'm hoping that can do the same for our listeners as well. Now a quick little shout out real quick. Ron Howard, the director, he dressed as the Grinch. Okay. If y'all didn't know that, director Ron Howard spent a day dressed as the Grinch to better understand the emotions Jim Carrey was experiencing. Howard arrived on set at 3:30 a.m. to get ready. And now, while Jim Carrey appreciated the gesture, even though he never got a chance to see him actually in the outfit, but he did do it. And that's a pretty dedicated director right there. Like, you know what? I will go through this process about. You got to imagine the makeup process. Oh my God! Can you imagine how long that man was in that chair to become the Grinch?
Man, I can't even imagine being in the chair that long.
Dude.
Let alone what he did it for.
Right? So, especially as a man. I mean, there are some women I'm pretty sure used to being in a chair maybe for 12 hours, you know what I'm saying? Getting those installs, right, ladies? Right? You got to get them installs done. So, you're going to be there for a while. You got to grab a Snickers for sure. But, that was just cool that he decided to do that, to see how it feels and maybe make him a little bit more empathetic to Carrey as he's trying to, embody this character. So, and then also, the animated film, the 1966 film, was created because of World War II.
Now that's a fact for your head tops.
Ain't that something, bro? Ain't that something? And y'all get that stuff here. Because can't nobody review it the way we do it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get that.
Nah, not the way that Hangout do it. Come on.
You already know. Shout out to Timmy too. Thank you very much, Timmy. Because Timmy, y'all get this information, but please believe it. We're not that smart. We're not that smart. You know what I'm saying? But someone that we know truly is, and that is producer, Timmy. So Timmy, thank you always for getting us the information that you do. And then one last one, which was surprising to me. Now, this one I did not know, but for anybody that does not know, I always thought Max was a male dog. I'm not going to front. But apparently Max was a female dog in the movie. So Max, she wasn't hearing all that. You know what I'm saying? She was keeping him in check. You know what I mean? For sure. But that makes sense, though.
What they say, playing no games. I'm playing absolutely no games.
None. But it definitely makes sense because there are definitely women in our lives who help to keep us on track. So.
Absolutely. Shout out to them.
All right. Well, without further ado, my guy, I'm gonna just jump into this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's an older movie. However, if you would like to know what we feel about this movie as far as rating goes, I'm gonna go ahead and give you mines real quick. I think I would have rated this a little differently back in the day. And shout out to Jim Carrey too. For I wanted to say this. Jim Carrey's portrayal of the Grinch in 2000 film. It took about 8 hours to apply and 1 hour to remove each day. So ladies, y'all got one up on him. I mean, hey, take 12 hours for your install, you know, and you know, only 8 hours to become the Grinch. So hey, tell him you ain't impressed. Try sitting in this chair getting an install for 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this went on for 92 days. 8 hours a day for 92 days. Can you imagine that? Good Lord.
That's dedication. That is definitely dedication, brother.
Shout out to you, Mr. Carey, for sure. So I would have probably scored this differently had I not really dug into this the way I did this year, because with the holiday consumerism thing, the reason they created the Grinch, it just totally took me somewhere else with this. Okay, so as I'm watching it, man, watching it for what it is, yes, there are times when Jim Carrey is super silly in it, but I mean, for what this film came from, an animated film, to give it still that animated feel, live action, you gotta let Jim do what he do. And let me say this too,
to be effective. But
yeah,
and that's a critique I always hear you come out with, man, for real.
Mm-hmm.
If you gonna get the big powered actor,
mm-hmm.
let them cook.
Yeah, let them cook. Let them do their thing. You know, don't try to direct them in a sense of that you're not letting them be themselves, because that's the reason you chose them. You know what I mean? Because of other work that you've seen them do. Let them do what they do. And apparently he did that. Now, let's just say, for example, in The Mask and in Batman, the third Batman, when he's playing the Riddler or whatever, definitely over the top. So over the top that I'm like, ugh, okay, that's a little much. However, in this one, perfect. I was totally entertained. You know, that definitely had me laughing. Like I said, there are other moments in the film that are a little bit, I would say, geared toward the adults, you know what I mean, and their understanding of things. So you don't feel like you're just necessarily watching a kid movie. Quite a good balance they did on it. But like I said, with the consumerism thing now and really seeing what Dr. Seuss was trying to say initially, he wasn't just making a kid's book. He was trying to teach a lesson. And if you know Dr. Seuss's books, his books were always about teaching lessons. And it's a thing that we really lack in today's society. You know, we don't want to teach kids lessons.
I miss it, man. It was always something to pull out of everything, man. Those were the good days, man.
Good days, bro. So if you wasn't getting the lessons from your parents, you was getting it from, you know, the books or the cartoons or whatever, you know, the rights and the wrongs or whatever. Now it's not about that anymore. It's just about entertaining you. You know what I'm saying? For a few hours and however, we have definitely lost our way with that. But this goes back to a time, like I said, this was 24 years ago. This is not now, y'all. This is 24 years ago. They were still trying to teach lessons and whatnot. So I appreciated the film for that. Does it hit every mark? No. There are a couple of little eye-rolling moments, and I'm like, okay, that's a little corny. You know what I'm saying? There's some corniness in it for sure. However, at its core, the movie is trying to teach you something. The movie definitely still has heart to this day, and it's a little sad and disappointing that you have to pull these movies out your bag just to feel something again. And I really wish they would get back to feeling something.
That's real, man. Because it's like these were set up for a purpose, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes when they're not living up to it, it can be upsetting, you know? And it's so much repetitiveness too. It's kind of like the lacking of, fresh ideas and, like you said, the fact that we even have to come back is crazy in itself. But,
it is. So, I'm gonna say, man, that with this one, it's a classic. It's still a cult classic to me. I still think it is definitely one of my top 5 Christmas movies that I would watch, every year. I maybe switch them up, if I watch The Grinch this year, I may watch Christmas Story next year, or however, but it's definitely going to stay on my list there. It cannot be knocked off unless there is just an amazing movie that comes and knocks it off, but it's still definitely in my top 5. So for me, for The Grinch, for what they was able to do, because I'm judging this based on the translation, the adaptation from the book and the movie. I love the way they fleshed out some things. They told you why the Grinch was who he was. He was very, one-sided in a sense. Before, he was just like just a mean Grinch and whatnot, but you never knew why, what happened to him. You definitely get a chance to know that. And they expanded on other things. I love Cindy Lou's portrayal. I think Taylor Momsen did a great job as Cindy Lou. You know what I'm saying? Just having that that childlike, way about herself. Very innocent, but she stands on what she believes in. You know what I mean? Back when people had morals and standards, you know what I'm saying, and they just stood on them, and they didn't waver for anything or anybody. That was Cindy Lou for me. I think she represents that. So for me,
beautifully said.
Thank you, there, brother. For me, I have to go with 8.5, man. I gotta go with 8.5. Not a perfect movie, but it still holds true to this day.
Man. What else can be said, man? What else can be said, really? I feel like that was pretty much the perfect summing up of the experience you get out of this film, man. It's a classic. It's something that you can go back to, warms your heart up every year, gets you in that Christmas mood, gets you in that Christmas spirit. And as this review taught you, it's a lot of deeper lessons and layers than just what's on the surface. Casting perfect, execution is flawless.
Yeah.
Even for it being 24 years old, man, that gritty VHS feel to it.
I know,
Nothing
right?
else like it.
Nothing else like it.
Nothing else like it. But pretty much to sum up what you're saying, I'm right there in that ballpark with you, man. I feel like I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it a 9.
Okay.
I just think it still hits the mark, still hits the bench. It goes into a little bit more deeper than the animations. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with a 9 for that one.
I'm not mad at you.
Which gives our average an 8.75.
Woo! Still knocking them off the block. 24 years later.
Giving them a run for their money, man.
For sure. And until they come up with something else that, can knock it off the block, man, it's just what it is. And again, listen, like X said, go back and check out our Red One review now. Red One is no punk. Red One is no punk, man. I mean, to me, 24 years later, not having another Christmas movie that I can just like, okay, that Christmas movie is the new Christmas movie. Red One is close, man. I mean, it's in there. It's up there now, I have to go back through my list to see if it's in my top 5, but it's definitely in my top 10. But yeah. So, I mean, it took 24 years to get another movie to me that just felt like, okay, this feels like a Christmas movie, and you get a little action with it and so forth and so on. But however, like X said, y'all go back and check that out. So 8.75. I love it. Good job. Okay, so before we head out there, we want to do something for y'all real quick. For y'all that want to stick around and hang out with us just a little bit longer, y'all know last year we started off with our top 5 Christmas gifts for 2024. But this year we decided, you know what? I know some of y'all are just coming straight for the review. We'll give you the review. But for y'all that's just like, you know what? I ain't got nothing else important to do right now. Let's just find out what the top 5 Christmas gifts are for this 2024 era. All right. I'll lead off with number 1, X. Number 1, the travel jewelry case. This jewelry organizer has dedicated compartments for rings, earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. All right.
That's right. That's right. And I'm gonna lead off with number 2, brother. It says the Nictec neck and back massager.
Okay.
Rated the best overall neck massager by the Good Housekeeping Institute. This Nictec pick earned high scores for actually relieving tension, fitting comfortably around the neck, and operating quietly. It even has a heat feature.
Okay. I know the ladies like, neck and back, huh? My neck and my back.
Interesting.
Okay. That's what's up. And now that for sure, as I get older, it's more like, really? Okay. Because, when you're younger, you don't feel all this stuff. When you get old, you're like, okay, I might need to look into that. Because,
Aches and pains, brother. Aches and pains.
Aches and pains, baby. and they make sure they let you know it even has a heat feature. So you're going to get a hot neck and back massage. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. Okay. Number 3. This is funny to me. A rechargeable hand warmer. Hand warmer. So GH readers are absolutely obsessed with these portable hand warmers, which take only 2 minutes to heat up and provide 3 to 4 hours of warmth. They're particularly great for anyone who loves camping or winter weather sports like skiing. And I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't have to camp or ski or anything like that to appreciate some hand warmers, because it gets pretty cold out here and I don't like to be cold. And so to have some hand warmers, rechargeable too, that I can see how they would be obsessed with them, because you get them little ones, you come in a little package, and then when you pop them, right, and you got to crush them or something, and then they get all extra warm, right, but then it's, then they start to go down, and that's nothing else you can do with them. You got to dispose of them, buddy. They have seen their day. But you got something that you can recharge. And it lasts 3 to 4 hours. Oh my God,
brother. Talk about it. Talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wouldn't mind that gift. I know you wouldn't mind that. I don't think anybody would mind a gift like that. So I can see why they pretty high on the list.
Yeah. You would think now, you're like, hand warmers. Where's the PS5? Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something. Your PS5 can't keep you warm. It can keep you entertained for a minute, but if you freezing, you ain't gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna keep you warm.
It ain't gonna keep you warm, daddy. So I can appreciate some rechargeable hand warmers. Just be careful where you put those hand warmers. If you've seen Zack and Miri, you know what I mean? If you've seen that movie with Seth Rogen, he decided to put that hand warmer somewhere he probably shouldn't have put them. So be mindful.
A little too warm.
A little too warm, all right? You got to protect those, you know what I'm saying? So be mindful.
At all costs.
At all costs, baby.
All right, coming in at number 4, we have Sol de Janero's Bum Bum Cream. Has been all the rage. Our editors love the scent and thick formula. But the perfume mist is becoming just as popular. This intoxicating yet delicate fragrance is crowd pleaser, but we're hearing teens are obsessed.
Okay. So when I first saw this,
perfume, huh?
But bum, I mean, isn't bum like the butt or something? I mean, no, I know in other countries and whatever, their bum is not the bums that's on the street that we talking about. We see out here on the street. We talking about.
It's different. It's different.
So if we was to put this in English, then the booty cream, or the butt cream, right, has been all the rage.
Booty cream.
I don't know. The butt cream,
my brother. That is the one, my brother.
That's all I mean. From what I know, a bum is your butt. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So, but here's the thing though. Who's that close to your bum to smell it? Like, why is it? Is a crowd pleaser? Is it like when you pass gas or something? It's like it covers the gas smell. What is it? Why is it all the rage? You know, I'm just like
as good as mine. Bro.
Wow. Okay, but apparently, teens are obsessed with a butt cream. So, you know, if y'all are curious enough, please get a booty cream and let me know what y'all think. And if it's something I need to look into, let your boy know. Sound off in the comments, man.
And remember that's Price from the Hangout. He was the one that said that. All right, I'm all right.
They gonna hit you
I'll
up.
take the hand warmers. Don't need no bums.
Yeah. So
maybe even the back massage.
So if you want to send X a nice gift this year, you know what I'm saying? His address is but yeah, man. So that is pretty funny.
123 Rainbow Road.
Right. Okay. So rounding this all off, number 5. Now this one here, I can see. This would actually be number 1.
Very practical.
Very practical. I can see being all the rage, even more than a booty cream. Okay, so 3-in-1 charging station for iPhone, which means you can charge your phone, you can charge your watch, and you can charge your earbuds at the same time.
What? Yeah.
Come on, shawty. That means at no point in time should any of your devices go dead.
Be dead.
Little dramatic pause for him. No time, y'all, because you had a 3-in-1 charging station for your iPhone, so you should have everything you need. So good stuff all the way. I definitely can see that. That one for sure. I feel like I would get somebody that I know has an iPhone. So this is basically for all you master races out there. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm not part of that master race. I have an Android, and for apparently they don't do 3-in-1 chargers because we're just a lowly Android.
I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes. So all you master races out there. That was the top 5 gifts for Christmas for 2024. Yeah, shout it. Now, X, we can't end this without you giving us the QOTD.
Follow your soul. It knows the way.
Isn't that
like
something?
Beacon. Like
I mean,
North Star.
Dude, like GPS, you have arrived. That's what your soul is saying.
No compass.
If you follow it the right way. Oh my God, I'm still rhyming. Oh, jeez. Get me out of this Dr. Seussness. Okay.
Seuss won, baby. Dr. Seuss won.
Winning. Yeah, he let me in. Yeah, and that's definitely what we saw Cindy Lou did. She followed her soul the whole time, and her soul led her up to the mountaintop. All right, way to the mountaintop where she found the Grinch, a soulless person, someone who needed a little soul, and she gave it to him, and he was able to follow his soul right back down the mountaintop to join the other souls in Whoville, where he belonged. I love it. All right, well, something that I'm sure they learned as well also, the Hangout mantra. It's not the quantity of people, it's the quality. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. I know it was a little bit longer, but we want to give y'all just a little bit more for Christmas, for Krimmer. You know what I'm saying? That was our Christmas gift to you, to give you just a little bit more of us. You know what I'm saying? For real. Now, if you want to do anything for us, and all for us, what we would love for you to do? That is to please like, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.
Baby.
That's right.
Turn them on, baby.
Turn them on. It ain't nothing, just a little click of a little button, baby. So we appreciate y'all.
My name.
Hey. So we appreciate y'all, man. And thank y'all so much for joining us on this merry, merry, merry Christmas, please, man, please, if y'all learned anything from the day, man, treat each other well, okay? It's not about the gifts. It's not about none of that. It's about the time, man. It's about just calling somebody and say, hey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, shouting. And I love you, shouting. That's all you got to do. That's a Christmas gift in itself. Some people don't want anything. They don't even want anything from you. They just want you to hit them up and just let them know that you're thinking about them, that you are, they are definitely on your mind.
That's it. When's the last time you picked up, talked to that auntie, man? Just pick up the phone, call.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all as always. This once again has been your boy Price and
X the unannounced.
That's right. Always, forever. Shout out to that boy CBR, Country Boy Ray, SC, and last but not least, Bree 40 Millie Jill.
40.
Woo! We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining us.
Come on, rock with us.
Rock with us, baby. All right, man. So y'all know how we do, man. We'll just take a little hangout break, but we definitely will be back with y'all next quarter, 2025. Make sure that you are here with us. We love y'all. Bless you. And have a great year.
And